Hello everyone. Virtual reality is reshaping the world because it teleports us to a whole new environment and make us believe that we belong over there. My name is Abdullah Mshmos. I am the founder of Hakawati Studio for game development and interactive media. I am also the lead interactive developer at Backyard Experiential, and basically I am a dreamer. I like to tinker, I like to build things, I like to explore new technologies. Back in the time, people used to tell each other stories. On the Stone Age, people used to sit around fire and tell each other stories. And then they noticed that the story could not reach to a broader audience. So they start throwing these stories on caves so other people could read these stories and understand what have happened within these ages. And then people start writing these stories and transferring these stories to other people so it could be read by other people as well. And currently we have different storytelling mediums like films and music and different mediums that we use to transfer these stories to other people. But why are we developing these stories, or why are we storytellers? The first thing that we want to do, we want to achieve, is we want to transfer the message across the room. We would like to sit with other people and we want to inform them about things that have happened and things that they could learn, and we want to tell them things, but we don't want to be direct about it. We want to transfer a message to them. Sometimes we would like to entertain the audience. We want the audience to have fun and enjoy their time and to laugh about it or to enjoy the story itself. And sometimes we would love to teach a subject. We would like to give the audience an experience that have happened before in a different space or in a similar space, and we want them to learn from that experience, or we shape a subject into a story for them to be able to understand it. We use stories in order for us to influence and motivate people, and basically we want to extend their lives, their experiences, by being in different people's shoes, by understanding what have happened and how people reacted in a different environment or in different space or in different time, and how they could react. This could develop their logical development or logical thinking. And we have different mediums that we storytell right now, visual mediums. The first one is called movies, and we are all watching movies all the time. We sit back and enjoy looking at the screen, where the actors go to different spaces, different locations, and act, and we are watching them in our comfort of our houses. And there is theater, where we go and sit, and the actors are there in front of us, and the spaces that they're going to, the location that they're going to, are in front of us as well, and we could enjoy the story while they are acting in front of us. And there is a thing called immersive theater, where audience join a room, and they will be the actors will be there in that room or in that space, and the actor will be acting, and the audience would come as close to the actors as possible, and then they would interact with the actors. Sometimes they will be asked to do something, or sometimes they would be asked to speak out, and they could feel that they are part of that story. And there is virtual reality. We could bring all the good things on the immersive theater, and we could take it broader than that. We could have computer generated visual effects. We could take the users or take the players to different spaces which is not possible for them to be in, for example to space, to Mars, to places which is impossible, a volcano underwater, or to places, virtual places like rockets and things from sci-fi's, and places which is not real, like game environment and things like that. We could take them to these places, and overall we could let them interact with different objects. We could put the decision on them and give them activities to do, a task to develop, and puzzles to solve in order for them to enjoy the full story. And before we explore this further, I would like you to watch this video.
I don't know where my boy is. He's gone. Will, can you tell me where you are? Are you alive?
Wow, that was amazing. Okay, in order for us to create a story in virtual reality, as we have seen in Stranger Things virtual experience, as we were joys of that story, um, we need to think about different aspects. The first one is presence. Um, being in that place, being in that place would make me feel, or make the users and players feel, that they could interact with things. They would like to grab that, and the phone, they would like to grab it. They want to push away, for example, the Gorgon. They want to interact with things, and that's human nature. That as in films, that they would sit and enjoy the film. They are not in a preset mood of interacting. However, when they wear the headset, they would love to interact, and whenever you make the space is for them, they enjoy it more. We need to think about the point of view. In this video, we were when I wear the headset or I watched it in YouTube, I was Joyce, the mother of Will, and whenever I'm moving around, I could see or understand that she is the one who's moving around and enjoying that experience, or being in that experience, and that is called first person point of view. As the first person, you are watching as you are the first person or first actor. The second point of view is called third person point of view, where the player is a little bit the player is a little bit elevated or moved in a space where you can see things are happening in front of you, but nobody is interacting with you immediately. And one thing we should really focus on is the environment. As just immediately from watching the video, we understood that we are in a haunted house. There's things are broken, and if you are familiar with Stranger Things, you'll definitely understand which time and space you are in, and how this makes you feel. And we need to focus on writing in 360. we focus our words and the story to be written for a 360 content, in order for us to consider what's happening on the right and what's happening behind you and how things are going, where should the player or what should the player do and how they react to different aspects. We should focus and make the story more to a 3D 360 view. And now let's start developing. Okay, so we are going to develop a story, a very simple story, where we have two characters who have landed on the moon, and one of them is you as the main character, and the second character is doing a very simple animation saying, wow, look at the earth. Basically, this would cover different aspects, from setting up the environment, uh, setting up the VR headsets, and then setting up the development environment and the environment, the physical environment, and then creating the main player, and then creating the other player with animations and creating such things. Okay, let's get started. First thing we need to do, we need to install Unity 3D. We should go to Unity Hub, download Unity Hub by pressing download Unity Hub in this link. Install Unity Unity as usual. You install Unity Hub. However, I have it here in my device. As you can see, you will definitely ask to set up your account. I have my account set up here, and then you need to go to installs and install the 2021 version. Just press on it and press next, and then you would be presented with that project. And then after you install Unity 2021 and you are ready for this, let's go to projects and create a new project in Unity 2021 by pressing the arrow next to new, and then name the project and set up the location, choose 3D and create. I have the project is set for me as the first live demo, and I have opened it. Okay. Second thing, we need to prepare our VR headset. I got my headset here. I have Vive Pro, and I set it up. I installed Steam VR, and I set up my lighthouses and my VR headset. I do not need the controller, so I did not set up my controllers yet. Third thing, we need to set up OpenXR inside Unity. This is how it's going to be presented. If yours is different, you could go to layout or default layout. I use the default layout as it is more appropriate for me. And I want you to go to edit, project settings, and in package manager, I would like you to check enable pre-release packages, which will enable us to install OpenVR. Then I want you to go to Windows Package Manager and choose Unity Registry. And in the gear or settings, in advanced settings, I want you, okay, yes, we have done it. I want you to search for OpenXR plugin and press install. I have it installed here, so I pressed install, and that's it. So after installing the OpenXR, we would need to install the XR interactions. We would go to Windows Package Manager, and as well another reviewed or preview package called XR Interaction. Okay. Not in my assets, Unity Registry, XR Interaction Tool, and we will have to install it. It's preferred to install it with the default actions as well. Default input actions. Okay, so I have installed it earlier, and you'd be pressing here install. And after you install it, you need to do right now, you need to go to the project settings. You need to go to XR plugin. You need to check in OpenXR, and in OpenXR, on the features you should choose HTC Vive or the device that you're going to use. And yes, for me, I'm using the OpenXR runtime Steam VR. Okay, so just to test my VR headset and my setup, just want to make sure that it is working. It's not going to be working right now because I have not added the XR rig. So I just press the right button on the hierarchy on the XR. I will choose the XR rig action based, and yes, great. Okay, as long as I'm not gonna use the controllers, I'm gonna highlight both and then check them both. I'm not willing to use the controllers. Now I want to check it once again. Okay, so it's great. Our XR or our video is working within our VR headset, and now we need to set the environment. After testing the VR, setting up OpenXR, testing the VR, now we need to set up our environment, the moon terrain, and then yes, okay. For setting up the environment, we need to find a good asset, and I found on Turbo Squid a website which is a very well-known website. I found this terrain which was created by Giacomo 1215. I found this very interesting terrain, so I will just grab it and put it in the scene. I'll put it in 000, and that is a good environment, but this looks like it is a terrain. However, it doesn't look like it is the moon. It's white, it looks snowy, and it's sunny. So you just need to correct the position for the VR rig. And the moon terrain, I'm gonna change the material of the moon terrain. Rather than making it whitish, I'm gonna make it grayish. So I'm gonna highlight all of these and add this gray material that I made earlier. Okay. Yeah. Yes, alright, great. And then I need to create a skybox, so I make it a darker skybox by creating a material and then choosing the shader type of skybox. I could press skybox and procedural. I'm just gonna remove sun size to 0. Yes, and in order for you to set it up, just drag it and drop it on the skybox. So I'm just removing the sun, and then I'm gonna change the colors to a darker colors. Maybe I could make it more of a bluish color, dark blue, and then the tint is into a black, and the exposure is to 0. Atmosphere thickness, we don't need it. This looks better already. And the directional light, rather than using a yellow, I'm gonna keep it as white. If I could make it a little bit darker, yes, this will have a great influence on the scene. Or maybe I could make it a little bit lighter so we could see the other character. Okay, so I'm gonna test it one more time. Very interesting, very interesting. That's very beautiful. Okay, right now our character or our main character is belonging to the space, and we need to create a story. And the story that I want to start creating is that there is another character in the scene who is who they landed. Both of them landed on the moon, and now they are looking toward something which is mysterious. So I added one of the characters from Hakawati Studio. The character is called Mulham, and I'm gonna add this character just beside. I'm gonna drag this game into here because like I need to see where is the location. So this character is called Mulham, and he is one of the guys of Hakawati Studio. As you can see, he is inside his spacesuit. I just want to check where is the front side of it. Okay, because I want whenever your scene started, Mulham comes or Nader comes in front of the player. I just want to place the object. I'm moving right now by pressing the right button. I'm moving with the WASD. I set him to the ground. Very interesting. And I'm gonna move him toward that space so it could grab attention. Okay, this looks very interesting so far. Yes, okay, and now I'm gonna create an empty object. I'm gonna call it timeline, or I'm gonna call it moon timeline. Moon timeline. Timeline is a sequencing tool that we use in Unity, where you could create animation and create a sequence of animation. So I just you probably are not going to have the timeline here. You need to go to Windows, sequencing, and then timeline. I like to drag it on the bottom side here, and I'm gonna create a timeline. I'm gonna call it timeline 2, and you can call it anything you would like. Okay, so I have my timeline over here. The first thing that I need to drag and drop here is the character. I'm gonna drag it and drop it, and I'm gonna create an animation track. Okay, by creating an animation track, I'm just gonna keep the project over here because I need to see our animations. And now we choose the animation, for example, Nader looking behind. Have you noticed when we change the animation or put the animation, the location of Nader have changed? I'm gonna go to the inspector of the timeline of this timeline. I want to make sure that Nader is being placed at the right situation or right position. Let me just go. Yes, I believe he is in a good position. So right now he could look behind. Very good. And I will choose the pointing forward. And I will add it to this. Now he's pointing forward. And then I'm gonna add the idle animation for a while. These are just normal animation that you could develop by any 3D software. And I'm gonna make sure that the timeline is set to loop and it's play on awake. And I'm gonna save the project. Let me test it one more time. Okay. This is what I see actually in the VR headset. That is an excellent. Right now, if you have seen that he's pointing forward, and we could bring up some stories, we could bring up items, a moon, or we could make him talk. In order for us to add voice to this, we should press on the right button on the timeline on audio track, and then drag and drop any MP3 files and make him talk at a certain position. And we are at the end of our presentation. My name is Abdullah Mshmos, and here are my social media handlers. I look forward to see you guys, and if you have any question, please send it to me. I would be more than happy to answer your questions, and send me messages if you'd like to discuss ideas. And yes, let's create some great works. And as I mentioned, I am the founder of Hakawati, and this is the game that we have been developing. It's mainly for children, Arabic children, to empower the ethics, science, and the great deeds. And thank you all for this great opportunity, and looking forward to see you again.